fresh study says remote work is driving many employees to make a zip code shift to live further away from their office. According to the data, Americans lived an average of 27 miles from the office back in 2023. And you see on your screen here that it's more than twice the distance lived from the office back in 2019, before the pandemic. Emma Goldberg is here in Studio 57. She's a business reporter covering workplace culture for the New York Times and has been digging through the data and can tell us all about it. Great to have you here,
Thanks
Emma.
for having me.
It's clear why people are choosing to not be bound to work, but why are so many choosing to live so far away?
It's a great question. You know, Americans do not like their commutes. So this is surprising in some ways. I thought I had a long commute coming from Brooklyn to Manhattan, but
Yeah,
I think
same.
remote work and hybrid work really changed the calculus for a lot of people. Because if there's anything that counterbalances that how Americans feel about their commutes, it's how they feel about housing. People want bigger homes, cheaper homes, and it's a longstanding tendency that people leave the city for the suburbs. And remote work sort of supercharged that trend.
I've seen some interesting examples of people who now fly to work so they can hang on to the benefit of living in a medium cost of living area while working in a big city. Talk to me about why this is impacting predominantly higher earners and how they're doing the math.
It's a great question, and that's that genre of kind of super commuters. So people who are willing to take not only a normal commute of an hour, but sometimes as long as 2 or 3 hours. And the study showed that that's predominantly affecting, first of all, people whose jobs can be done remotely, so people who work in law or accounting or finance, and predominantly people who make more than $100,000. And the reason is that if people are going into the office every day, it really doesn't make sense to take on a super commute. But if you're not going into the office at all, or you're going in maybe only 2 or 3 days a week, then it can start to look a little bit easier to justify that long commute so you can live in a cheaper housing market.
But if I'm at home right now and I'm doing a pros and cons list of perhaps taking one of these actions, there's the dollars and cents side of the list, but there's also the workplace culture side of it. You know, the pandemic upended the ways in which we interact. And some would say that nothing really replaces in-person, not even just meetings, but casual conversation. How does that factor into how people decide and the numbers that you've seen?
It's a big part of the calculus for CEOs who are deciding how much remote work they want to allow their employees to have. I've spoken with a lot of managers and a lot of CEOs who are even now starting to say, well, maybe we can bring it back up to 4 days a week or even 5 days a week in the office. I think people miss that kind of mythic water cooler banter. They miss the run-in with a colleague in the hallway that gives them a creative idea. They miss grabbing beers with friends after work. There's a lot that just comes from the magic of in-person that can't be replicated on Zoom.
Well, it's a fascinating report. Folks should take a look at the New York Times to read your story. And was there anything else that really surprised you in the data?
Well, I think that one of the really important points here is to remember that there's a downstairs economy too. It's not just the office workers, it's the coffee shop workers, the restaurant workers, everyone who depends on office workers coming in order to keep their livelihoods.
Got to get that coffee. Emma Goldberg, great to have you here. Thanks very much
for
for joining
having
us.
me.